Dear ladies and gentlemen, living each day conscious of his indwelling power to walk daily in the power the Holy Spirit provides is to live every moment deeply aware that you are not alone, not powerless, not left to figure life out with your limited strength. So many believers trudge through their days weighed down, exhausted, striving to muster up what only heaven can supply. But when you truly grasp the wonder that the very Spirit who raised Jesus from the grave now dwells in you, it changes everything. This is not a poetic notion to recite on Sundays. It is a living reality that touches every hour of your ordinary days. The Holy Spirit is not a distant guest, visiting you only when you feel spiritual enough or when the music swells just right in church. He is Emmanuel, within God with you, God in you, God through you. This awareness does not come naturally at first. The world will shout to drown out the whisper of his presence. Your flesh will distract you with worries, busyness, and noise. But the Spirit gently draws you to the place of daily remembrance. He invites you to pause, to lean in, to listen. When you wake in the morning, before your feet touch the floor, you breathe out a prayer. Holy Spirit, I know you are here. Fill me again. Lead me today. This simple habit of acknowledging him opens the floodgates of his power to move in you and through you. As you cultivate this daily consciousness, you begin to see the mundane moments differently. The commute to work becomes a sanctuary. The dishes washed at the sink become an altar. The ordinary tasks become holy ground because the one who is holy walks with you in every step. You learn to ask, Holy Spirit, what are you saying here? How would you have me respond? And in that place of yieldedness, the power of God flows unhindered. This power is not always loud and spectacular. Often it is quiet and steady. It is the strength to keep going when you feel like quitting. It is the courage to stand firm when compromise calls. It is the supernatural love that enables you to bless when you are wronged, to forgive when the wound is fresh. The same Spirit who overshadowed Mary with the promise of the impossible now overshadows you, birthing what no flesh could ever produce. This is resurrection life in motion, the daily miracle of his power manifesting in your weakness. As you learn to live aware of this indwelling power, fear loses its grip. You no longer approach each day dreading what might go wrong, because you know who goes before you, who stands behind you, who lives within you. You stop striving to make things happen by sheer human effort, and instead learn to rest in the one who accomplishes more in a moment of his breath than you could in a lifetime of striving. This does not mean you become passive. No, you become bold, fully alive, fully surrendered, fully expectant that today, right here, the Spirit of God desires to move through you to touch the world around you. This awareness does not grow by accident. It is watered daily in the secret place. As you draw near, as you wait upon him, as you abide in his presence, the truth of his power becomes more real than any circumstance you face. You begin to walk with a quiet confidence that the one who called you is faithful to do it. You know you are not walking through life dragging your feet, hoping to make it through. You are walking daily in the victory purchased for you at Calvary and applied to your life by the Spirit's indwelling power obedience, the doorway to his power unleashed to walk daily in the power the Holy Spirit provides is to walk in daily obedience to his gentle leading. Power is not given so you can wield it for your own glory or to build your own kingdom. It is entrusted to those who say, Yes, Lord, even when it costs them, even when it stretches them beyond comfort and familiarity. A life surrendered in obedience is a life where the Spirit's power flows freely. Each step of obedience, each small yes, in the quiet, opens wide the river of heaven's strength to do what you could never do alone. This obedience often begins in the smallest nudges. The Spirit may whisper, Speak that word of encouragement. Stop and pray with her now. Give that extra you're holding back. Forgive them again. And in that moment, you stand at a crossroads, your way or his way, your fear or his faithfulness. Every time you choose obedience, the bond between you and the Spirit deepens. You learn to recognize his voice more clearly, to trust his heart more fully, to expect his power more boldly. Obedience is rarely convenient. It will stretch you into situations where you must lean on him completely. He will lead you to forgive when you want to stay angry, to bless when you want to withdraw, to pray for the sick when you feel unqualified. Each act of obedience releases his power to work miracles you could never orchestrate on your own. You realize that obedience is not about your strength, but about your surrender. As you yield, the Spirit moves, touching hearts, breaking chains, opening doors that no man can shut. This habit of daily obedience trains you to live in step with him. You do not run ahead of his timing, nor do you lag behind out of fear. You walk with him moment by moment, trusting that the same Spirit who leads you will also empower you to do what he asks. This is the freedom of the Spirit-filled life. You are not responsible for the results, only for your yes. You are not the miracle worker. You are the vessel he fills with his wonder-working power. A Spirit-filled person learns that obedience is not always spectacular to human eyes. Sometimes it means staying when you want to leave, serving when no one notices, praying when it feels like nothing is changing. But each yes in the hidden places builds a foundation for greater outpourings of his power. The Spirit looks for those whose hearts are fully his, whose wills are laid down, whose hands are open. Through them he can do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, because they are fully surrendered to his voice. This daily walk of obedience is not about duty, but about love. You obey because you trust him, because you know his ways are perfect, because you have tasted the sweetness of a life laid down. And as you keep saying yes, the power of the Spirit will flow through your life like a mighty river, bringing life, freedom, and transformation. Wherever you go, boldness in the Spirit, living beyond natural fear, to walk daily in the power the Holy Spirit provides, is to live with a boldness that cannot be manufactured by mere human will. It is the holy courage that rises up when the Spirit fills you, casting out fear and replacing it with a supernatural confidence that God is with you and will do what he says. This boldness is not arrogance. It is the fearless trust that flows from knowing you stand not in your own name, but in the name that makes demons tremble and heaven rejoice. The early church understood this well. Before Pentecost, the disciples hid behind locked doors, afraid of what the world might do to them. But when the Holy Spirit came upon them, fear turned to fire. Peter, once a denier, became a proclaimer. Stephen, filled with the Spirit, spoke with a face like an angel even as stones flew. Paul, once the persecutor, stood before kings unashamed. What changed? The same Spirit who emboldened them lives in you today. This boldness does not come from personality, it comes from intimacy with the Spirit. The closer you walk with him, the more you trust him to speak through you, to defend you, to open doors no man can shut. You begin to speak when you would have stayed silent, to stand when you would have shrunk back, to pray daring prayers when others tell you to be realistic. This holy boldness pushes you beyond what is comfortable because it is fueled not by self-confidence but by Spirit-confidence. Boldness does not mean recklessness. It means you move when he says move and you rest when he says rest. It means you stand in the gap for your family, your workplace, your city, even when others call you foolish. It means you risk rejection to share the gospel with those who are desperate for hope. It means you lay hands on the sick even when your mind whispers, "What if nothing happens?" And you do it anyway because your obedience is his invitation to display his power. This daily boldness grows with every step of faith. The Spirit will stretch you to believe for more, to pray bigger prayers, to expect the miraculous. You will find yourself speaking words you did not plan, giving when it makes no sense, stepping out when every natural instinct says stay put. And you will see His power manifest not for your glory, but so that a watching world will know there is a God in heaven who still moves through yielded vessels. As you walk daily in this boldness, fear loses its hold. You no longer live confined by what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. You walk in step with the one who sees the end from the beginning, who holds you in the palm of his hand, who has already overcome the world. And your life becomes a testimony not of your courage, but of His power made perfect in your weakness, overflowing love, the greatest mark of Spirit power to walk daily in the power the Holy Spirit provides is to walk daily in the love that only He can pour into your heart. This is not ordinary love. It is the agape love that flows from the very heart of God, a love that loves the unlovable, forgives the unforgivable, blesses those who curse, and does good to those who cannot repay you. This is the power that holds all other power in check, the miracle that keeps the gifts of the Spirit rooted in the fruit of the Spirit. When you are filled with the Spirit, you find yourself loving people you once judged, blessing people who once wounded you, weeping for people you once ignored. The Spirit enlarges your heart so that it beats in rhythm with His. You feel His compassion for the lost, His longing for the prodigal, His tenderness for the broken. You see people not through the lens of your past wounds or prejudice, but through the eyes of the one who gave everything for them. This overflowing love is not passive. It moves you to action, to serve, to give, to go the extra mile, to pray for enemies, to stand in the gap when others have walked away. It is the power that transforms your home, your workplace, your city. When the Spirit's love flows through you, it breaks down walls, heals divisions, melts hardened hearts. It is the power that testifies to a watching world that Jesus is real because they see Him in you. This daily walk of love is not easy, but it is possible because the Holy Spirit lives within you to do what you cannot do on your own. He will stretch you to forgive when every part of you wants to hold on. He will nudge you to reach out when pride tells you to stay silent. He will whisper, "Love them again," when you feel your patience has run dry. And every time you yield, His power flows, His glory shines, His kingdom comes on earth as it is in heaven.